Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX. Welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Rangers Shadows of Almia. In the last episode, we learned that the blue gem is not going to be enough to take on the Shadow Crystal. We're going to need the red gem and the yellow gem's combined power in order to do that. Thus, Keith was sent to the Hariyama Desert in order to find the yellow gem. We've been sent back to Boilerland to get the red gem. We've opened this door over here. We can explore deeper into the heart of the volcano and see what lies in store for us there. So that is our mission today. We're gonna find the red gem, and probably have to battle Team Demps along the way. So we get a voicemail from Wendy of all people, letting us know that we're gonna need to capture Pokemon that swim on magma. So we're gonna need to cross the lava, but this time we're literally gonna cross it on a Pokemon. And as you can guess, that Pokemon is in fact the Torkoal in front of us there. So luckily, they don't make you have to go find it, you just get it right away. They're like, oh, you need a Pokemon that crossed lava, here you go! And I'm just like, okay, well, I suppose, thank you for that. So Torkoal is one of those slow Pokemon that take a while to capture. But, so first I'll just wait for it to do its fire attack here. We'll wait for the fire to run out and then capture it. You should have enough time to get capture in after he does his attack, but beforehand, if you're using a charge capture, you probably won't. Speaking of which, by the way, this is the first time I've actually used the charge capture since getting the upgrade from Professor Hastings. So now our charge captures are slightly faster, which is kind of nice. So that's a thing. We can now ride on Torkoal, and we can thus continue our progress here. So this first part revolves around this Drifloon here, and yes, you can bring a Drifloon from Chroma Highlands, but really it's not needed. Because as you can see up here, if you look on the map, there's actually that blue dot that indicates a spot usually where you have to use Drifloon. So, in other words, we have to go around here this time before we explode the stuff on the right side. We're going to go around this way, get the stuff on the left side, because we're going to also need to get that Drifloon anyway to make progress. That's the game plan there. But before that, we're going to make a quick detour up here. We're back in the original part of Volcano Cave, by the way. You can tell by the music switching. And we can go ahead and capture a Flareon over here. So keep note, this is the third Eevee form we've seen. They will actually be important in the long run, so oops, may have probably chosen a bad spot to do that. But keep in mind basically where all these Eevee forms are. We've seen Umbreon, we've seen Vaporeon, and now we've seen Flareon as well. So very important, just because in the long run we're gonna actually need to know where all these Eevee forms are for the post games. So keep that in mind. Slight spoilers, but just something to keep in mind where all these Eevee forms are will actually become vital. So in order to cross back in the magma, we go into this cave, and we'll find ourselves another Torkoal, and we will be able to capture it. I just can't speak English today, by the way, apparently. My mouth is just not working today. Just have mouth and, yeah, see, you can't really get it in enough time. Just kind of have mouth to brain just mistranslations going on today, apparently. You ever have just a day where you just can't, I guess, like, it's part of me just naturally talking so fast, I had to stumble on my words sometimes. But, you ever just had a day where you just can't speak English properly? That's probably today, it seems. So, in other words, let's record videos for YouTube! Yeah! Go me! So let's go on this Torkoal. We're gonna explore the lower left part of this area now, because, that will be where we'll actually get the Drifloon that we're going to need in the long run here. So, head down here. We're still kind of in the initial part of Volcano Cave, the left-hand side, the easy mode side. But that's okay. Let's just grab another Torkoal while we're here, because we're actually going to need it in a little bit just to cross across the lava again. May as well just get out of the way now. So, like before, just wait it out. Let him do his attack. Let the fire go away, or if it's in such a formation where you can start circling them, you can also start circling, just get it over with quicker, I guess. Maybe get the rapid capture bonus, because if that's possible to get, then, you know, all the more power to you. And indeed, I did get that, so that's definitely an S rank, although I think I already had S rank before. And it's also level up, an extra 5 power, so that's an extra 10 power if you factor in the charge capture as well on top of that. Don't forget, charge capture basically doubles your power. Speaking of doubling your power, we now have a Charmeleon, the evolved form of Charmander. What that has to do with doubling your power, I don't know. But apparently he wants to shoot fireballs everywhere. He's an angry little guy. Oh, so adorable and so easy to capture. So we'll add ourselves a Charmeleon to our inventory, or our browser. I don't know why I keep calling the browser an inventory, but apparently to me it's an inventory. I am strange, but we already knew that. So now that we have that underway, we'll go ahead and we will get the Drifloon up here. Because that was the plan all along. And from there we can explore the right side of this area and kind of get the first floor of this section done. I wouldn't say that Boil Volcano is as long as Almia Castle. I think we might even be able to get this all done in one video, although that's kind of pushing it. So, especially if you know preemptively what you're going to need ahead of time. Or if you just are smart and plan ahead of time, I guess. So we don't need these 3 at all, so we'll go ahead and get rid of them. The Torkoal will need to cross across the lava. The Drifblim will need to fly upwards, and the Probopass is a Probopass! Do not question the almighty nose! He knows everything! Oh, that was a bad pun. Oh, I apologize. Oh, that was just terrible. I feel bad for that one. Ugh. I can never forgive myself for that. So, we got ourselves a Bagon! And we're gonna go ahead and catch him. I just Bagon, oh, it's Bagon or whatever, but he's a Bagon. He's a bag of on. I don't know. Don't ask me to make jokes. It's not a good idea. I'll make terrible puns and or terrible jokes, and the world will slowly die from the loss of brain cells that my jokes entail. So let's head over here. We're actually gonna want to keep this Hariyama over here because it's a Hariyama. It's pretty badass. And B, we're actually gonna need its Pokemon power to progress further if we don't want to waste a Probopass. Which I don't want to waste my Probopass. He's a Probopass. I like him, and I want to keep him forever, basically. Okay, you're doing your tackle, so ooh, that actually still hit me. As you see, careful with this guy. He does do a lot of damage with his stomps and his charge attacks and his palm thrusts. So the palm thrust you can circle around. You just have to be really careful about that. I definitely took a lot of unneeded damage there, which is bad because that took a lot of damage. But I can always get a Raichu if you need to. We're gonna want to be careful here though because you can take a lot of damage in Boil Volcano now. Also be careful while you're approaching Hariyama. If he sees you, he will try to punch you. Didn't really get a chance to show that off, but he will try to smack you one, and that's never a good time. So don't do that. Anyway, we got ourselves some of these guys in here. We're actually gonna need getting through this cave will actually require quite a few instances of soak. So you're gonna want to have basically you want to have a couple soak powers while you're in here, and soak 2 will actually do precisely what we need to progress further here. Not gonna get much experience from it, but we will be able to make progress. So we're gonna catch 2 of them apparently, which is actually fine because I actually wanted to catch 2. So this actually kind of works out just as planned, I suppose. Because we'll want one now, but it's generally a good idea to keep 1 or 2 soak Pokemon on you at all times while going through this area. I'm fairly sure there's an instance later on where if you don't have a soak Pokemon, you're going to have to backtrack quite some way to get some. So, in other words, probably a good idea, probably in your best interest to have said soak Pokemon with you. So we only need 2, well, we don't have room for a 3rd one anyway, so what we're going to do now is avoid this Raichu, and we're going to need soak actually for this thing right here. That was the point. Is this hot boulder requires soak. Actually it requires, we're getting into some more complicated territory. This one actually requires 2 different Pokemon powers in order to get past this obstacle. First you need to cool it down with a soak, and then it turns into a normal rock, and from there, well, what do we usually do with rocks? We crush them, which is precisely why I got ourselves a Hariyama here. So now that we have that, he'll do his little sumo punchy style thing and shatter that rock into tiny pieces. And from here we can get ourselves a Shelgon apparently, because there's a Shelgon right here. Okay, well hey, got Bagon, we got a Shelgon. All I'm missing is the Salamence here, although I don't think we're gonna be seeing any sort of Salamences anytime soon. I mean, it's a freaking Salamence. That's like endgame craziness going on right there. That's like boss level craziness. That was a boss in the original Pokemon Ranger. Although it was like kind of those weird like trial bosses that we had to fight, where we had to fight like all those different dragons and oh, good times back in a lifetime that this character knows nothing about, because they're 2 different people, which is kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it's in the Pokemon spirit. You always have, you know, a new region with a new trainer slash ranger slash whatever you want to call it. It works. So we're making it up to the 2nd floor. Welcome to the 2nd floor, by the way. We have this guy over here, by the way, a Rugged Rock. We've seen this before. In fact, we've used the Gastrodon specifically on a type of Rugged Rock before. And inside that was everyone's favorite rock Pokemon, except probably not anyone's favorite rock Pokemon, but it's a Graveler! Yeah, let's go ahead and capture it. The reason I'm grabbing the Graveler is I don't remember if we get, I know the source of Crush later on. I'm fairly sure we will. But just in case you've seen, you can imagine we're gonna be seeing that rock more than once. They have to cool off and then crush, and it was a crush too, and Graveler is a crush too. So we've caught a Graveler before, but now we have another one just in case we need the crush too. And I'm not too worried about Soak, because if you head over to the right here, we'll actually get ourselves another source of Soak power here. As you can see, we have some more water Pokemon in the area. So, and also a Team Dim Sum battle. So now you can't avoid this because you're gonna need this version of Soak. It's actually a 3 Soak. So unless you bring yourself like the Vaporeon over here and go really well out of your way to do this, you're gonna have to fight this Team Dim Sum trainer. And by the way, something worth noting: every Team Dim Sum member in this area will be female. So something to note, I guess. The female squad, I guess, the elite female squad is in the volcano, because they're all hot! Ha! Get it? That's a joke. Alright, so you have to capture 5 Chatot. I'm going to try to get them all at once here, and I actually just did, so that worked. But yeah, there we go. 5 Chatot taken care of. Not going to give us much of a bonus anyway, because we fought them way back in Pule Town, and while the episode numbers were still around 10. Well, actually it's probably more than 10 by that point, but or was it? I don't remember. Regardless, that was way back when. Those things aren't gonna be worth a lot of experience, even if it's 5 of them at the same time. So, not gonna give us too much experience in the long run, but it will give us an extra 5 HP, which is kind of nice. So Wendy gives us another hint here. Apparently, Wendy's our guide of the day. As I mentioned, water Pokemon are extremely important, so capture a bunch of them. Very good call. There's 2 Pelippers here. We're gonna want to get both of them here because I believe we'll need 2 more water Pokemon to get us through the end of the Boil Volcano. Not that we're anywhere close to the end yet. Although I would say we're almost nearing the halfway point already. It's not, oops, kind of like going there. It's not a terribly long area, all things considered. So avoid the water and capture the Pelipper, and there we go. So we got ourselves a Pelipper. This is a source of Soak 3, which we will need at least 1 source of Soak 3 to make it through, which is why I've upgraded from Gastrodon to Pelipper. Very important, but we will actually need another source of Soak 2. If I remember correctly, we need 2 more sources of Soak. So 2 Pelippers will get us through the majority of this area. And that's why I want to capture 2 of them and always keep a water Pokemon on you at some time, because this is the last time we'll actually get access to Soak, if I remember correctly, in this area. And towards the end is where you actually encounter another source of Soak. Which means if you haven't actually taken a Pelipper or a Gastrodon all the way through the dungeon, you're gonna have to go all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon to get one, which is not gonna be fun. And yes, it's okay, the cave, I guess. I call it the dungeon because it's funny, I guess. So you got a little area over here. There's gonna be actually a lot of areas where you can just kind of jump back here, and here we go. This is why we need our source of Soak 3. We have some fire up in here, and the only way I put this little firewall is to bypass the firewall. We're gonna use some computer jargon going on there, but no. We use the Pelipper's Soak 3, or for some reason if you brought a Vaporeon here, I don't know why you would bother, but it's there, I suppose. Otherwise, it's dodged basically all this fire. It's a very common theme. Also, you can, oops, I didn't mean actually show that off, but you can jump down here to get back down here if you need to have a shortcut back. There is indeed shortcuts back, but basically, this fire hurt, so you're gonna have to kind of just dodge all this fire while dodging the Pokemon trying to tackle you, while dodging the Rhydon that came out of nowhere and tried to attack me. Okay, well, I failed at dodging the Rhydon. That did a lot more damage than the fire ever would, so perhaps my priorities weren't exactly straight there, but we got ourselves a new Pokemon to capture. As you can imagine, Rhydon does take quite a bit of ow! It does take quite a bit of loops to capture. It is a fairly tanky Pokemon. And it also can do a lot of damage if you're not careful and get skewered by that horn like I did. It's a good 7 damage there, not very fun. But we kind of go ahead and grab it and add it to our browser. And it's a source of 3 tackle, which won't actually help us that much in the long run, but ow! That was some fire right there. But wall of fire basically. So catch the right water Pokemon. This gives you a very, very direct hint of catch a water Pokemon. Bring a water Pokemon here. And once again, it's an entirely female squad. All their makeup is running because they're in the hot area. It's kind of a funny joke, I suppose. And it tells us who are the Team Dim Sum boss of the area is going to be. We're going to fight Lavana here, the one that was hinted at before, the female leader of Team Dim Sum. And as you imagine, a very potent fire-type Pokemon Master. We've kind of seen her actually in a newspaper article with Keith in it, he was facing off against an Infernape. So, are we got to face off against that Infernape? Who knows? But this battle, this is not going to be easy. These Pokemon are pretty new, and they actually have a fairly decent amount of HP to fight 4 of them at a time. So, be careful with this battle. Might be best just to kind of pick them off one by one for this, in this one instance, and then try to get the group bonus by capturing them later, although make some decent... Oh, that was good, that was good. I don't want to lose progress on any of these, though. Let's try to get at least this one out of the way. There we go. That was worth it, because I said so. And get... Oh, we're so close to getting that Shelgon at least. Let's try to get the Shelgon here, and then get these 2 Bagons together for the group capture bonus. And there we go. That's how you do it. So that one, because they're so mobile and so fast, and they take a lot of loops, it's generally not going to work out for you if you try to capture them all at once. Pick off a couple of them, get the group capture bonus by capturing the last 2 at the same time, especially if you can get 2 Bagon together and get the Shelgon out of the way early. That helps as well. So for the more complicated group captures like that, it's generally better to pick them off one by one. So we've ruined their pride. And apparently there's a firewall up ahead, but apparently there actually wasn't, because that's where they're running to. So, okay, I guess that's a thing. Hey, it's the Hariyama. Hey, demonstrate the... Ow! Yeah, see, he tries to tackle you, it hurts your face. Generally not the best idea. I don't think I need a Crush 3. You know what, just in case, though, I'm going to grab that Crush 3 because I'm pretty sure the Crush 2 is going to be needed up ahead. But just in case a Crush 3 is needed, they are giving us a Hariyama here. So it is an upgrade from the Graveler. Let's just make sure. It's not like this is a terribly hard fight. Plus I just want revengeance. He smacked me in the face, it was rude. He's gonna, oh yep, yeah, I'm like, there's no way I'm dodging that one. Okay, abort mission, save the damage. Ooh, he almost got me with his sumo stomp there, but he failed. I did that one without taking damage, that was worth. So, plus it's also a nice little extra chunk of experience. I do want to try to get the level up here before, I guess I'll keep 3 tackle just in case I need. Oh, I don't need the Shelgon. I don't know why I'm keeping him. But, oh well. Oh well, what can you do? So, let's head further into the Volcano Cave. Also, I guess, like, I don't know if I mentioned, but I know I'm kind of backtracking again, but this is kind of the route, the easy route back, because you can just kind of hop down that thing, and then you'll be able to hop down the thing next to that, and basically make it quick, easy progress back to the beginning of the area if you do that. So, basically, ow! Falling rocks. Ah, fire. Oh my god, I'm dying. Okay, let's just, like, not try to dodge anything and just train wreck through it. That's clearly the intended strategy. There's a Macargo here. As you can see, that one's already in our inventory, unlike this guy down here, who is in fact not, and he will try to tackle if he sees you, I believe, right? Yeah, he's trying to tackle me. I don't approve of that, though, so let's capture him. We're actually going to, this is actually a required capture to progress, or indeed his Pokemon power here. In fact, I believe this is the first time I've ever seen a Pokemon power of this magnitude over here, so... In other words, definitely capture the Aggron, although it's not going to be easy to capture him. He does a lot of damage, and he does that rock move there, which I completely forgot about and didn't really see. I thought it was going to be like a tackle like that, basically. But nope, he did his rock slide, and it smacked me in the face, and it kind of hurt. You doing your rock slide again? Yeah, you are. Cool, that's how you just stay off to the side there. Not too near the center, because he will be, it does branch out a little bit, but as long as you're off to the side enough, you can dodge it. And he will be worth a good chunk of experience here. 575 would have been more if I didn't take damage. But he is a source of 4 tackle, which we're going to need for quite a few things, actually. So, we're going to want that 4 tackle for, to get the Torterra, actually, outside the overworld. But we're also going to need it in here as well. So, in order to, oh, by the way, here's the source of the water rock thing. So I guess we just could have used the Graveler anyway, but whatever. I have a Hariyama. That works for me, too. So, I wasn't sure if I needed Crush 3. I figure better safe than sorry. It's generally the best rule is, if you can upgrade your Pokemon power to something slightly higher, generally a good idea to do that. I don't want to waste a Crush 4, because it's a Crush 4. you can see that the type 4 moves are actually used to get hidden Pokemon throughout the game, so I don't quite remember what the, if there's anything that I'm going to need to Crush for later. Crush for later, yeah, that was an actual sentence. Huh, go figure. So, we're gonna want to get the Torkoal here. We're actually getting fairly close to the end of this area here, as a matter of fact, so, grab the Torkoal, and from here we can ride on the lava, and we're, like I said, we're gonna need this tackle for something up ahead, and then we're pretty much getting to the close to the end of this volcano. Oops, I guess I didn't notice the Macargo, and I guess we're gonna confirm that I in fact do not need a Macargo because I've already captured. Well, actually, I mean, I've never captured one directly. Really? I thought I could get that before they attacked me, but apparently I was wrong. I took unnecessary damage. Oops. But, yeah, the Macargo was a Pokemon that Team Dimsun actually fought us with back the first time we were in Volcano, so that's why it's not new to our browser. We've already seen one before, but whatever, I guess it can come with us for a bit, because it wants to. Why not? So, you can ride on the Torkoal, get across the lava here, which for some reason shows up as blue on the map up above, but you know, whatever floats your boat map. I guess blue can represent lava too. I don't know. But as you can see, there's a Drifblim over there. We're going to need that Drifblim in order to, well, as you can see, there's the thing up there on the map that says, hey, we're going to need a Drifblim. So generally, if the game gives you a Drifblim, take it because you're generally going to need it at some point. That's just kind of the rule of Drifblim, is you use it to go up. And a lot of places in this game, yeah, have to use it to go up. It's a good thing that Drifblim are basically found everywhere in this game, else we would be kind of in trouble. But, that's a Drifblim for you right there. And this is a rock that's really big and requires this Aggron, and only this Aggron, because we've never seen a tackle before this point, to get past. So, smack the rock with the Aggron. We'll use it up, which, since, you know, as we know, we actually need to get that Torterra, we're actually going to want to backtrack and get that, Aggron a second time in order for us to have it in the outside world and be able to use it to capture that Torterra at some point, namely next episode. So we will have a Torterra soon enough if we need to, and also because I don't think I'm going to have a chance to level up here before we face the, we start facing some bosses. I'm going to go ahead and capture a Raichu just in the off chance I need it. So that seems like a fairly safe plan. And by capturing the Raichu, the Aggron should have respawned, and indeed it has, so let's capture one a second time because we're going to need it for the outside world. And then we grab ourselves a Torkoal, and then we head back up, use the Drifblim and head up to the next floor. And the next floor, I think, is just where the bosses are going to be, if I remember correctly. So, in other words, not nearly as long as the, as Almia Castle was. Especially because we didn't really have to solve, like, we didn't have to do, like, an Ice Lake to get here, we didn't have to go through Crystal Cave, we didn't have to solve Bahia Valley's problems. We just kind of like, hey, it's the volcano, and then we're inside the volcano, and everything is good, and that's how you S-rank an Aggron right there. Boom! Apparently I just need to not think about capturing Pokemon. I capture Pokemon better. It's just one of those things that you just subconsciously do better when you're not thinking about it. Which actually, I guess, makes sense. That, you know, just circling Pokemon, dodging things, you almost kind of are better off using your sixth sense about and not really thinking about it. It seems to work out better, and I was really not sure that fire was going to hit me, but it didn't. I'm going to let the fire die down here, and then this should theoretically be the last Torkoal, if I can say his name properly, of the area. So, go us, I guess. Woo. Yay. Alright, so we do not need the Macargo. Every other Pokemon here we do need to keep, though, so... Well, we don't need to keep the Raichu, but I'm going to anyway, for safety, because if you have an extra slot and you're about to fight a couple bosses, generally a good idea to have a Raichu on hand, or some sort of healing Pokemon, so you don't accidentally die. Probably not in your best interest to die. So we're going to have the Torkoal, we're going to, head upstairs here, via the power of flight, and from there is boss time.